Dnipropetrovsk, a calculated assault on civilian life. The escalating brutality underscores a sustained strategic objective of destabilization and human cost. The reported attack in the Dnipropetrovsk region, resulting in 2 fatalities and 1 additional casualty, represents a concerning escalation within the ongoing conflict.
While the provided article content 403 forbidden suggests a technical impediment to accessing further details, the underlying narrative, as evidenced by the accompanying tags and initial reporting, points towards a deliberate and targeted assault on Ukrainian civilians. This action aligns with a pattern of behavior exhibited by Russian forces throughout the protracted invasion, demonstrating a calculated disregard for international humanitarian law and a prioritization of strategic objectives over human life.
The continued presence of such incidents necessitates a rigorous investigation by international bodies, including the International Criminal Court, to establish accountability and potentially pave the way for prosecution under relevant war crimes statutes. Furthermore, the coordinated nature of information dissemination encompassing Ukrainian news outlets like Ukrinformed alongside broader international media coverage highlights the pervasive and multifaceted character of this ongoing crisis, demanding sustained attention and robust responses from global stakeholders.
The escalating narrative of Russian aggression, the consistent targeting of civilian infrastructure, represents a fundamental shift in Russian military doctrine. The reported casualties within the Dnipropetrovsk region serve as a stark illustration of the evolving tactical approach employed by Russian forces.
Historically, the conflict has been characterized by a focus on strategic military objectives, often at the expense of civilian populations. However, the increasing frequency and deliberate nature of attacks on populated areas, as indicated by the numerous war Ukraine war crime tags, suggest a deliberate shift towards maximizing civilian casualties as a strategic tool. This tactic, coupled with the extensive network of international media engagement, including organizations such as the ICC, OSCE, and COE, indicates a concerted effort to expose and document potential war crimes, thereby generating international pressure and bolstering the case for accountability.
The 403 forbidden error further complicates the situation, potentially indicative of deliberate attempts to obfuscate information or suppress critical analysis. Ultimately, this evolving landscape demands a proactive and multi-pronged approach, combining immediate humanitarian assistance with sustained efforts to hold perpetrators accountable and deter future atrocities.
Data analysis, targeting and information control, the combination of reported casualties and technical obstacles reveals a deliberate strategy of obfuscation and escalation. Analyzing the available data, the confirmed fatalities and the 403 forbidden error reveals a complex interplay of strategic objectives.
The reported casualties, while seemingly isolated, contribute to a broader pattern of Russian aggression, consistently documented through tags like Russia-Ukraine War and 12 air invasion of Ukraine. Simultaneously, the technical failure to access further information suggests an active effort to control the narrative surrounding the event, potentially through censorship or denial.
This tactic, mirroring documented Russian disinformation campaigns, aims to minimize international scrutiny and impede the ability of investigative bodies such as the PACE and UN to fully assess the situation. The sustained mobilization of international media from UK outlets to broader global news networks underscores the importance of independent verification and the need for a decentralized approach to information gathering.
Further investigation into the root cause of the 403 forbidden error is paramount, as it may provide critical insight into the extent of Russian influence and control within information channels.
Strategic implications, prolonged instability and accountability. The continued violence necessitates a sustained commitment to international justice and strategic deterrence. The unfolding events in the Dnipropetrovsk region, coupled with the technical challenges to information access, paint a picture of prolonged instability and a deliberate strategy of obfuscation designed to undermine international efforts to hold Russia accountable.
The escalating frequency of attacks on civilian populations, as evidenced by the Russian Serbiy Bicolors hashtag and the broad range of associated tags, demands a resolute and unified response from the international community. Failure to pursue justice through mechanisms such as the ICC, coupled with the continued dissemination of disinformation, risks normalizing aggression and emboldening further violations of international law.
Therefore, a sustained commitment to diplomatic pressure, sanctions, and robust investigative efforts is crucial alongside a proactive strategy to counter Russian propaganda and protect vulnerable populations. Ultimately, the long-term strategic implications hinge on the ability of the international community to demonstrate unequivocally that such acts of barbarity will not be tolerated and that perpetrators will be held accountable, thereby establishing a credible deterrent against future aggression.